In this video, we're going to be talking about the constant and average speed lab. So I'm just going to give you the basic information on what you need to do for it and kind of show you what your graphs should look like and what your calculation should kind of look like. All right, so for the problem, you are going to be trying to answer the question, what will the distance versus time graph look like if a person is starting and stopping and if a person is moving at a constant speed? So you are going to do a hypothesis for part A and part B down here on these graphs, drawing what you think they should look like. All right, for this lab, you need a tape measure of some kind, a stopwatch, and tape or something to mark off distances. For part one, you are going to be walking a certain path with a total of 40 feet. You will need to measure off 5 feet, putting something for your starting point and then a marker at 5 feet, and then measure off another 10 feet with another marker, 20 feet with another marker, and then 5 with another marker. You need to know these individual distances because I want you to tell me the time it takes you to walk each of those distances. And for part one, you're going to be actually stopping for a certain amount of time stated in the table here at each of these distances as well. And your time should be a continuous time. So as soon as you start it, when you start walking, don't stop it until you get to the very, very end. You can figure out how long it took you to walk each individual piece just by doing a little bit of math. All right, so I'm going to kind of show you what I want for the times here. So let's say you walked the 5 feet, you looked at your stopwatch, and it took you 20 seconds to walk that. Well, then you had to stand there for 30 seconds, so now you're at 50 seconds. Well, then you walked another 10 feet, and now you're at, let's say, 1 minute and 7 seconds. All right, well, then you waited there another 10, so you're at 1 minute and 17 seconds. So this is kind of what I want it to look like. When you're figuring out the elapsed time, I want you to tell me how long it took you to get from the previous point to that point. So for the walk 5 feet, it's just the same. It'll be 20 seconds. Stop here for 30 seconds. Well, this is actually 30 seconds because you waited there for 30 seconds. And so now you walked another 10 feet. So this is going to be 17 seconds. It's not really realistic, but it was an example. So this is what I want you to write for that. Okay? When you do the graph, you are going to graph the distance with the overall time, with your stopwatch time, because that'll help you get a good idea of what it should look like, because you walked and timed continuously and you didn't, stop, reset, and then walk it again for 17 seconds. So your graph should end up looking something like that. All right, so for part two, you're going to use the same path that you did for the first one, except for you're not going to be stopping at all. You're just going to keep walking. So you're going to need to time continuously again, but it might be easier to hit the lap button if you're using your phone instead of trying to write everyone down after 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, and then another 5. because you're going to be walking at 3 different paces continuously. This is going to show your constant speeds. So for the first one, you're going to walk at a slow pace, kind of like a slow walk, through this whole path again, but not stopping, taking down the times for each. So let's say at a slow walk, it took you 30 seconds to walk that. And then another 60 seconds to walk this. So you're going to be at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that's what I'm meaning, is you're going to be walking pretty slow continuously through this whole entire thing. And then the next time you do it, you're going to go at a medium pace. So this will be like your normal walking pace. And then the next time you do it, you're going to do it at a fast pace. So let's say at a pace that's either a fast walk or something you would do if you're late for class and you know you're taking a test that day. Okay? And then on this side of the table, you are going to do elapsed times again, just like you did on the one before, but you need to graph this one. So when we're graphing these, you're going to have 3 different lines, and they're kind of going to look something like that. This shows continuous speed, and this shows that the slower you walk, slower your speed, and you can kind of see it on the graph and how they relate. And then you need to write me a conclusion looking at every graph, and then answer the questions down here. All right, so this was just a little bit of coverage on how to do the constant and average speed lab. If you have any questions, please send me an email if this did not answer your questions. And have a great time walking.